With no further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mayor Lloyd.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be seated. Please be seated. I've got an hour-long presentation we need to get to. Thanks for being here today. It's a great site. It's great to know that there's so much great confidence in our city. It's nice to know there are so many Cubs fans that have new confidence in the World Series. For the record, I'm a Cardinals fan, but I am rooting for the Cubs, unless, of course, Bob Jones and Tom Kazee are in the room, in which case I'm rooting for the Indians. They're the only Indian fans I know. Danielle, is that you back there? Okay, sorry. Anyway, Cards fans, we just want you guys to get over it and get on with yourselves. So anyway, my daughter and son-in-law, grandsons, all Cubs fans, so they're texting me like crazy during the games. What a great time for our city. It's a great time to acknowledge a couple of big retirement pieces of news just in the last couple of weeks, and I'd like to acknowledge the service and work of Linda White from Deaconess and John Rich from Berry Plastics, both dear personal friends to Carol and I, but also really great friends to our city and to our region, and their leadership has provided great investment and great growth, so we appreciate their service to their companies and look forward to them hanging around and continuing to be a part of the city of Evansville. Well, October, like all months, has seemed really busy, but for some reason it seemed busier than usual. Maybe it's because we worked with the Evansville City Council to pass a 2017 budget well in advance of the November 1st state deadline. Maybe it was because we welcomed the National Basketball Association to town. I hope you saw the Indiana Pacers play the Milwaukee Bucks. A great preseason game. Maybe this month seems busier because we were promoting the city of Evansville to 1,300 leaders of cities and towns all across the state up at French Lick a couple weeks ago because they're coming here next year for their annual convention. Maybe this has been a busier month than usual because just this week we were designated an ability city for the state based on our efforts to get more people with disabilities in the hiring pools. Very important work. Or maybe it's just been busier than normal because we recently announced yet another new downtown hotel project, a 139-room Hyatt Place hotel that will be constructed between 2nd and 3rd with no public subsidy. So maybe that's why I feel like this has been a little longer month than usual. There's so much positive progress going on in our city, we decided to do a short video. Now we have a little embarrassment of riches, I'm just going to tell you, okay? Because there's so much going on, we recognize the fact that this video is going to have to be updated with some regularity. I know some of you have seen the video, many of you we believe have not, so we thought this would be a great venue to show this video. Welcome to Evansville. A thriving regional city situated on a scenic bend in the Ohio River in southwest Indiana. Evansville's a dynamic, affordable city. We have the second lowest cost of living in the nation, according to niche.com. Forbes magazine and NerdWallet says Evansville is the 4th best place to start a business. And Northwest Indiana Business Quarterly says we're one of the best places to retire in Indiana. Evansville is the winner of the 2015 Indiana Association of Cities and Towns Community Achievement Award and recognized for our Green Communities initiatives. We are growing and flourishing with a renewed sense of energy and vitality like never before. After decades of stagnation, Evansville is making progress. Our downtown has become a launching pad with new developments and increasing job opportunities, improving infrastructure, quality schools, multiple shopping areas, and a burgeoning eclectic nightlife. Hello, I'm Mayor Lloyd Winnecke, and I'm proud to call Evansville my home. And almost everywhere you look, we're growing. Evansville is the third largest city in Indiana and the economic hub of a three-state area. For business and commerce, transportation, healthcare, education, and entertainment. The tri-state region of more than 313,000 people in southwest Indiana, western Kentucky, and southeast Illinois rely on Evansville's growth and success. The new 10,000-seat Ford Center Arena will soon be neighbored by a DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel on one side and the refurbished Old National Events Plaza Convention Center on the other side, all connected by sky bridges. Site work is underway on a multi-institutional academic health science, education, and research campus. This medical school is a partnership with Indiana University, the University of Evansville, and the University of Southern Indiana. When complete in 2018, the campus will draw medical students and faculty to the heart of our city to build a new pipeline of healthcare professionals. And many will live in nearby apartments being restored and developed in our surrounding historic neighborhoods. Tropicana Evansville is building a $50 million, 75,000 square foot entertainment complex that will dramatically transform the riverfront casino property with new dining, music, and gaming options. Businesses like Mead Johnson Nutrition and AT&T are not only staying here, but they're growing, and new companies have moved their base of operations to Evansville. Hire America recently opened its only North American tech center near downtown to research and engineer the next generation of smart consumer appliances. Evansville is also corporate headquarters for Accuride Corporation, Berry Plastics, Old National Bank, Veteran Corporation, Shoe Carnival, and Springleaf Financial. When it's time to relax, take a stroll through one of our over 60 city parks, such as Westland Woods Nature Preserve, which includes 200 acres of virgin hardwood forest. Or visit Mesker Park Zoo and Botanic Garden, home to more than 700 animals from around the globe, and the site of Amazonia, a climate-controlled indoor South American rainforest featuring exotic plants, birds, and wildlife. Our nightlife is evolving with exciting new restaurants and venues for music and the arts along West Franklin Street, in downtown Evansville, and in the historic Haney's Corner Arts District. The continuing extension of Interstate 69 will provide Evansville with a direct route to our state capital and will eventually link us to cities north of Indianapolis, all the way to Canada, and to regions south of the tri-state, to Texas and to Mexico. I often tell people to take a look around our downtown and take a picture, because in 5 years it will look a lot different. In fact, it'll look a lot different next year and the year after that. So enjoy our city. We hope you enjoy our positive progress, and we'd like for you to come back as we keep Evansville moving forward. I really appreciate the good work that Earl Milligan and his team did with in association with our staff to produce this video. And thanks for the people around the region who've shared this so much. We've had all kinds of hits on social media, 840 likes, 50,000 Facebook views. Who says people don't want a little tad of good news? We do have a great story to tell, and the fact of the matter is we need to do a better job at telling our story. And that story gets better with each passing week. Take, for example, the 2016 Frontier League champion Evansville Otters. How about a hand for owner Bill Bussing and manager Andy McCauley? What a terrific job they did in bringing a championship back to Bosse Field. I was honored to throw out one of the first pitches during the championship series. It was a great, great experience. As I said, as a city, we have to be more aggressive in telling our story, and we can't be shy about telling it. So for those reasons, we started to get really, really serious about branding our city. A creative team has been working for the past couple of years on developing Evansville's brand, and I will tell you, it's an exciting process. We have a small but mighty group directing this effort. Myself, Christy Gillenwater from the Chamber, the Coalition's Greg Wathen, Chris Kennett from the Growth Alliance, Bob Warren from the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Pete Paradosi from the Evansville Business Committee. At our direction, the creative team has come up with 3 different concepts. The 3 concepts have been tested and researched online and in focus groups. That research has helped reshape the most well-received concept. And that new creative is being created, developed, produced as we speak. I will tell you that this is a process that has endured twists at every turn. Ultimately, we're going to land on a concept that will help us stand out, and I think it will be something for everyone. The plan as it stands today is for it to roll out in the late first quarter or early second quarter of next year. This is a huge step for our city. Without giving too much away, I can tell you that the brand is based on 5 basic pillars, 5 qualities that many people believe to be true to the city of Evansville. So why are we doing this? 4 basic reasons. To enhance community pride and connectivity, to showcase our attributes and to attract talent and retain talent and investment, to help tourism, and to consistently and effectively tell our story. One of the things that impressed a whole group of us that went to Grand Rapids on an intercity leadership visit a couple years ago was that everyone told the same story. They might have used slightly different verbiage or language, but they didn't deviate from what the story was. And that is so important when you're trying to build a community brand. A city needs brand ambassadors, and for our brand to succeed, we will need you to help tell our story. It just can't be the mayor or the head of the chamber or the economic development teams or the CEOs or the CVB. It's got to be the entire community. So I have 2 asks of everyone in this room today, and Justin's taking names and numbers so he'll know whether you're going to do this job or not. The first is to help us tell the story. We need to tell it with pride, and we should not be shy about it. The second is to help us with funding. That's right, it's not free. Our collective vision is for a multi-year, multi-platform, 3-year rollout of the brand. Pete Paradosi and his marketing and branding background coming in very, very handy in this regard. He's really driving this effort. He's turning it into quite the fundraiser as well. So again, this is an all hands on deck assignment. So we need everyone to join in. When he or someone on the team reaches out to ask for funding support, I'd be grateful for your consideration. The community's brand effort needs it. So to recap, be a brand ambassador and help us fund the branding effort. Quick show of hands, how many of you remember the Feel the Pride Come Alive campaign? Don't be shy. It was in 1989. No disrespect to the people who drove that campaign, but this is nothing like that effort. This is a data-driven, research-based effort that really is going to help tell our story. And one of Evansville's best stories to tell is that of collaboration. And this has certainly been the case when working on the brand initiative. 3 competing Evansville branding and marketing companies have worked tirelessly together. It's been a thing of beauty. The group calls itself Thread. They are John Headley of 10 Adams, John Ruthenberg of Gray Loon, and Phil Mallory of DBD. I know you haven't seen their work on this project yet, but please know that their partnership has been invaluable. Part of telling the current Evansville story is an update on all the big projects going on, and so I thought a report to the business community would be absent if we didn't have this. So let's get to the big projects. First, let's start with the Doubletree Hotel project, still scheduled for substantial completion December 19th. I try to walk around the construction site at least a couple times a week, and it has been fun to watch. The final piece of the Sky Bridge from the connector building into the back of the arena is up. They're in the final stages of finishing the 551 space parking garage. Once the site has been released and turned over to the developer, it should take about 1 week per floor to install the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. So you can anticipate an opening sometime in mid-January. Is that all right, Tracy? Didn't pin you down too badly? Okay, good. Okay, that's all weather permitting, of course. Medical school, let's go right across the street. Of course, this is the partnership between IU, U of E, and USI. This is what this area looked like before. Look at how this is going to transform here. That is now the hotel, and this is the medical school. 6th Street, Walnut, just for your orientation. You can see from the photograph how the foundation of the building is taking shape. The front of the building will really be oriented toward 5th and Walnut. Look for steel to start being erected at this site on this about 140,000 square foot property sometime in about a month. Again, weather permitting. The current timeline for construction on the medical school is for construction to be completed in the spring of 2018 with ready for classes in August of 2018. So 2 years from now, there will be students on this campus. Well, if the traffic around these two sites isn't bad enough, we have a little traffic restriction out here on Riverside Drive, and if you couldn't see the progress, you could certainly hear it and feel it when lunch was being served. Our good friends at Tropicana have begun work on the state of Indiana's first land-based casino. You can see from this aerial video that the site work between the two existing hotels is well underway. They're currently working on the foundation for this 75,000 square foot, $50 million investment. Means when it's complete, the riverboat, as we know it, will go away. On a parallel path, we were working with the board of directors with LST 325 to try and get them relocated to that space. John, still December of 17? So open for business. New land-based casino, December 2017. Yeah, I know. We're all going to get a hard hat and go to work from here. Yikes. We'll get there, John says. A couple weeks ago, we had the pleasure of joining the ownership group of Kinship Hospitality in announcing their intention to build a new 139-room Hyatt Place Hotel in downtown. Let me show you exactly where this will be constructed. This is the old Scottish Rite. This is a lovely parking lot with weeds growing all over the chain link fence. These vacant buildings will actually be raised for parking, and the hotel will be constructed on this site. The front door to the hotel will be here at 2nd and Chestnut, right across the street from the newly renovated Owen Block building. So that's sort of how this will be oriented. 139 rooms, this will be a 5-story facility. This next piece of video I think is really, really cool. We're changing the orientation a little bit, start to look a little northwest, but just this is hovering right over the Hyatt Place Hotel site. Just shows you the proximity to the other projects, the DoubleTree, the medical school, and of course the expandable sites for the medical school. So just a couple blocks away. So we feel really, really pleased, obviously, about the developments going on there. We're going to move on. The city is really proud of the relationship it has with the Jacobsville Neighborhood Association. That collaboration has produced the North Main Street project. This video is looking south. It's a complete street project. It's a really special project. It provides a protected bicycle path and sidewalk from Morgan Avenue, basically Bosse Field, south to Division Street. The 3-block section from Morgan to Tennessee has already been paved. The entire corridor will have LED street lighting, which we think will really help in the deterrence of crime. This new view is now looking north from Division Street. Paving on this 3-block section north to Franklin should begin on November 7th. The entire project will be complete next fall, but construction will halt long enough and will be open enough for the Christmas parade on November 20th. Some of the sidewalks may not be complete, but the entire corridor will be open for the parade on November 20th. All these projects are encouraging other investments, both commercial and residential, throughout the city. However, due to the large developments taking place in the downtown has really become the place to be. Take a look at this downtown map. Over 44 businesses have started since 2014. They're indicated with the cool red dots. If we layer in the projects and the developments underway, blue dots, becoming increasingly clear that downtown is a growing hub of economic activity. All this development is occurring while we continue work on recommendations from the Downtown Master Plan. Those results we announced in the spring, and we had input from 1,500 people. The Department of Metropolitan Development and the Downtown Alliance are working toward establishing a Downtown Economic Improvement District, or an EID. The EID would fund the Downtown Alliance, and the Alliance would then plan events, manage activities downtown, maintain downtown green space, assist with new business development. Very important work. You may also recall that the master plan called for an active town square in the park that sits at the corner of 4th and Main. The city does not own that land currently, but we are exploring potential funding sources so we can acquire it. And DMD has a request for proposals on the Bond Street property. This is probably best recognized as the property directly across the street from the United Way office. That will be, we hope, an integral part of the NOCO district, north of Court. That is the Makers district, which is outlined in the Downtown Master Plan. One of the key tenets of the plan is increased housing, so that once the streets and establishments are busy after 5 o'clock, the purple dots on the map are the new residential projects that are moving forward. Lots going on. We like different colored dots. Now, one of the Chamber's newest members is led by a local businessman who I called a super fan last winter. He just wanted to see professional hockey stay in Evansville. Mike Hall stepped up to the plate, or more appropriately, he stepped into the rink, and in a matter of months has completely created the organization now known as the Evansville Thunderbolts. I had the chance to meet with Mike and Coach Jeff Pyle and the team before the season opened last week, and I will tell you this. This is a team that is enthusiastic about playing hockey in the SPHL, and they're enthusiastic about representing the city of Evansville. Mike and the coach were telling me a quick story. They had to cut a player due to roster limitations. Ironically, this was a former Iceman, but this Iceman, now Thunderbolt, loves Evansville so much, he's going off to play in the Federal League until there's a roster spot available with the Thunderbolts. That's how much he thinks of Mike Hall, Jeff Pyle, and the Thunderbolts. I think that's a great tribute to them and the organization they're building. Now, their first season is going to be crazy, as you can imagine, like any new business would. They're working their tails off to really create a fan experience that is second to none. So today I have another ask of you beyond the branding, and I know you support your fellow chamber members on a weekly basis, but how about a special outreach to Mike, and to see if you can support him either by buying tickets, being a sponsor, or just promoting the Thunderbolts any way you can. And so I'm going to be the first to kind of stick my neck out here. Carol and I have season tickets. We would like to have you and one guest join us for a game sometime this season. Carol's going, when are we going to get to a game? She and Marianne keep the schedules, and they're like, I can't believe he's saying this. So here's the deal. So leave your name tags at the tables, and after the lunch, we'll pick them up. If anyone so chooses to leave them there, it would be a little embarrassing if you didn't. And we'll do a random drawing later, and we'll figure out how 4 of us can enjoy hockey at the Ford Center. When you talk about economic development, it's important to recognize our team leaders who work so hard to bring jobs, grow jobs, retain jobs. You talk about Greg Wathen at the Economic Development Coalition of Southwest Indiana. You talk about Chris Kennett and the Growth Alliance of Greater Evansville. Both of those gentlemen have uniquely qualified teams who do great work for the city and for the region on a weekly basis. Let me give you just a few highlights of the stuff that they've landed in the last several months. eLuxury Supply. eLuxury Supply is Indiana's fastest growing company. Indiana's fastest growing company. Also happens to be the 4th fastest growing company in the United States and the #1 fastest growing retail company. They expanded its Evansville headquarters earlier this year and moved its Tennessee-based operations to Evansville. We have SS&C Technologies, financial software technology company. They took great advantage of the Jack Rogers project, the old Sterling Brewery location. By moving into there, they'll be able to expand their current workforce of more than 200 plus today to over 360 in the next 5 years. Shield Global Partners, a company offering vehicle monitoring, appraisal, and damage claims analytics to the auto insurance industry, is yet another tech success story. In July, Shield announced plans to expand its workforce by 50 by the end of the year, and the company will grow its workforce to 100 by 2019. And just over a year ago, the IRD Group, formerly the International Revolving Door, announced plans to stay in business and revitalize its manufacturing facility on North 6th Avenue. And just take a little mayoral prerogative here to create a little bit of suspense. I would anticipate that this group and the entire city would be it would be good for you to stay tuned for an announcement sometime in the first quarter that has potential, enormous potential for our city. Should I say more, Steve? Steve's on. Why did you say so much already? Okay, first quarter, new year. Stay tuned. Okay, since this is not the typical state of the city speech where I really kind of run through, go down and say what every department's up to, I do want to tell you that there is a wide range of work going on all across the city representing many facets. The Regional Development Authority is ensuring that regional cities projects are moving forward. 2 of those projects, Market on Vine and the renovation at the Evansville Regional Airport Terminal. Work is underway on the work on the Build for Evansville initiatives is happening. Our Aquatics Task Force has been meeting on the replacement of Lloyd Pool. Leadership Evansville has assisted with public meetings on the Mesker Amphitheater. The 2017 budget has funds appropriated for the design of a penguin exhibit, and plans and partnerships continue to be refined for Roberts Park. You've all heard about the massive improvements taking place or needed with the city's water and sewer infrastructure. The federal mandates have been presenting financial challenges for all of us, and I can tell you that the city is doing its best to mitigate the rate increases that we will consider now and in the future. In early 2017, we'll start a series of road hearings that will kick off municipal moves. This is our $13 million plan to upgrade streets over the next several years in the city. Needless to say, we'll have more updates on all those as we move forward. In closing, just want to share with you a comment I made to the group at the Indiana Association of Cities and Towns just a couple of weeks ago. 1,300 people there were promoting the city. My message is Evansville is a strong city, and people all over the state recognize that. They get it. They follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. But the message is that cities all across the state are the backbone of the Indiana economy. You heard me say in the video, and you've heard me say it probably 100 times, take a picture, because in 5 years our city won't look the same. Obviously it's changing even faster than that in some cases. Yesterday I had the chance to tour the hotel site and the medical school site with Lieutenant Governor Eric Holcomb, Congressman Larry Bouchon. The enthusiasm on their face for the pace of progress on those projects and more was amazing. And those are both projects that they personally supported and helped us land. And I think that's a feeling that is really prevalent throughout the city. All in all, I truly believe that the pride in our city is alive. Get it? See what I did here? Pride alive? Okay. Maybe a stretch. Maybe it was the delivery, I don't know. But seriously, it brings us back to a really important point. Telling our story. Not just me or Christy or anyone, it's all of us. So join me, if you will, in being a part of that exciting process of telling our story. Let me thank you for your investment in our community, by the businesses that you run, the businesses you support, and the confidence that you have in our city, in our region, and in your chamber. The National Chamber of the Year, by the way. Thanks for being here today.